This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at West Newton Farm. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and it is currently available for PC only. Now I do know that this map author is pursuing console support, but at this time it has been released for PC only. This is an interesting map that is based on Ayrshire, Scotland. It is a really nice map. I like how it's laid out. Let me read you a little bit of the description. It says, this map includes all Farming Simulator 19 features, custom-made models based off of the real area, full season support with grazing, custom lighting, and thicker clouds and a bluer sky. We're going to have to see if we can pick up on that in the map. Animated objects, custom grass texture, custom traffic, custom distance, 4 farms, 2 grain Sellpoints, biogas plant, over 110 fields of all varied sizes and shapes, custom transport missions, field contracts on most fields, real dem data based in Ayrshire, snow missions if you play with seasons, and it does snow for you. Then you'll have snow missions while the snow is on the ground. Manure system capable. Custom trees. And also, I will note that this map includes support for the Maize Plus system. So that would be the Maize Plus mod, Maize Plus Forage extension, and the Maize Plus CCM extension. Did load this map up with all 3 of the Maize Plus mods without any issue at all. Also loaded this map up with Seasons and Straw Harvest. Now, I did not load up this map with Straw Harvest, Seasons, and the 3 Maize Plus mods all together. I did not do that. But I did test all the Maize Plus mods. I did test Seasons and Straw Harvest independently. Go ahead and jump on in here. Now, I will say that if you load this map up without the Maize Plus mods, you will see a warning in the log. In fact, I'm going to load this up without these 3 mods just for the purpose of demonstrating that. Got things are a little out of order. Got everything I want to load up. Go ahead and load up the log, and we're going to see right here. Warning, fill type null, undefined for food groups. I'm going to scroll back up there in a moment. That is because the Maize Plus Forage extension is not activated. Pretty sure. Been talking with the map author since the release. Told him about what I was finding. So right here at the top of the screen, you got several entries for warning, fill type null, undefined for food groups of cow, ignoring it, cow, sheep, pig, horse. Okay, if you use Maize Plus and Maize Plus Forage, those warnings should go away. They're just warnings. Hopefully they will not affect actual gameplay. I've not tried to actually feed the animals on the map with those mods not in use. I can't really comment for sure. Something else that I noticed in the log is several entries here, an error related to an audio file. Now, the audio file is there. It's just in the map. It is house door with a big D .ogg. But in the XML, it's being referenced as house door with a little d .ogg. Case matters in this case. And why and how this clear Giants testing with clear errors in the log, only Giants will ever not answer that question. So that's all I can say about that. So here we are loaded up in the map. Now I will say that I've let the map author know about the error related to the audio file. He's told me he's already fixed that in a future update that he's got planned. And we've talked to him a little bit about the null message. So we think that is related to the Maize Plus Forage extension not being activated. It wasn't listed in the description. So possibly in the next update, he may make reference to the map being designed for the use of Maize Plus and Maize Plus Forage extension, or just flat out list it as a required mod in order to get rid of those warnings. So here we are at the start of our map. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. Zoom on out, and here we go. And take a look at all of this buyable land area. This is a standard sized map. Go ahead and take a look at the lands. You'll see that we start out by owning a whole lot of exterior land. The interior areas here, the roads, some of the tree areas, and it is all free, so we can sell that or buy it however we want. We also have a cow and a chicken farm here with fields 1, 2, and 8 associated with that. And then 8 is a second cow pasture. So that is $395,000. We also own fields 3 and 7, which is an additional $196,000. And we own field 38 up here, which is an additional $65,000. Now, take a look at the rest of the map here. We do have the biogas plant. We can buy the biogas plant for $97,000. There's also multiple farms. So there is a sheep farm down here, which includes area 94, 98, and 101 for $338,000. There's a pig farm over here that includes 3 fields, 78, 79, and 80, $284,000. There is a horse pasture farm over here, 43 and 44, $249,000. We have a cow pasture by itself, including 21 and 22, $327,000. There's a sheep farm up here, 39 and 40. That is $285,000. And that should cover all of the animal areas and the animal farms on the map. So you see this map includes all of the standard food types available in FarmSim. Take a look at the sell points. We have 2 main sell points that accept most of our crops, and then several sell points that accept specialty crops, including cotton and wool. 3 sell points for eggs, 2 sell points for milk. You have our sawmill for our wood chips. 3 areas to buy. 3 areas that will buy our silage, hay, straw, and grass, aside from the BGA that we could still buy. We have Ayrshire's finest grain will buy our manure. Nobody will buy our stink water until we get the BGA. And then we have 3 distinct sell points for our hay and straw pellets. You have straw harvest activated. Here is our starting equipment, and we do start out. Take note, the New Holland T6 and the New Holland TX32, they've been around a while. They've got some age on them. The New Holland T6 has been fairly well maintained, but the New Holland TX32, not so much. It's not been maintained for a very long time. It has really no residual value. So do note, it's going to be a beast to repair for the first time. We also have some seed and fertilizer pallets in our starting equipment. We're going to take a closer look at this starting equipment very shortly. And while we do start out with the chicken and cow farm, we do not own any animals at the start. You have contracts available, as the description said, on most fields, including baling contracts. There are an awful lot of meadows on the map, that is for sure. So there should be an ample number of mowing contracts available if you're a green grass kind of a guy. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. Start out with the Valtra A114, New Holland at T6 175, and again, this one has 200 hours on it, but it's well maintained. Then we have the TX32 Harvester, 500 hours on it. It's not been maintained for a very long time. This is going to be rather expensive to fix up the first time around. Have our pickup, and then interesting enough, we have the TX32 header, brand new. We don't have any hours on the header. Boy, that harvester, she's been around a long time. Kuhn BTF 4000 seeder and seed hopper to go with that. We have the Kuhn fertilized sprayer, Kuhn side mower, and windrower. Got the New Holland round baler. Got the small Kuhn forage wagon. You note this one only holds 11,800 liters of product. So if you're used to working it with the 16,000 liter forage EMR mixer, you're probably going to want to swap this out. Personally, I always use this as a straw blower myself. I just dump straw in there. 3 round bales. I do lose a little bit of straw, but it all works out in the end. And it's an easier way to dispense a lot of straw at once. We have our water trailer and our animal trailer. We've got loader arms, we've got a round bale fork, manure fork, pallet fork, a regular bale spike. We've got our header trailer, and that is all of our owned equipment. Nothing leased here. And I want to check placeables. All right, there are no custom animal pens. Everything is pre-placed in all game modes. And there are no custom placeables at all. So in all game modes, New Farmer, which is what we're in now, Farm Manager, and Start from Scratch, all of the buildings are pre-placed. In fact, we also have equipment in Farm Manager mode. We just don't own any land. Oh, let's go back here. We do have a sleep trigger right here. We have our milk trigger. This is our workshop. And check out that nice little fireplace. Cool little detail. Down here is where we're going to find our pallets and our equipment. We've got our Volter down here. Our grass working equipment. Pallets of seed, pallet of liquid fertilizer, and a pallet of herbicide. Got our forks back here in the back. This is our silage bunker for our cows. Trigger come up there. And this is an interesting thing. I like this. This is under the cow area, if you will. And don't worry about these pipes. You're going to see what is a result of those here in a moment. I like that we've got kind of storage under here. Head on up this way. Best I can tell, those bales are decorative. They're not legit bales for use. Then we have our animal trigger here for our cows. Food trough. Here, straw trigger is going to be also right there to blow in. And then this is what we were seeing under the building. This is our water trough. Now, we activate animal pen extension for a few reasons. One, to see if it includes support for the water pipes here. This map does not include custom support for the water pipes to be bought or pre-installed. That's why they're placed right here. But it also helps us locate the water trigger. Sometimes it can be quite difficult on some maps. So that's what we were seeing through the floor. No big deal on that. And then animal pen extension also allows us to see at a quick glance the maximum number of animals per animal area. So this particular animal area will support 500 cows. Water trigger, water trailer there. Side we have our old, beat up, worn down harvester, seeder, and our sprayer. Slurry point right there, and I haven't really seen a spot where I would perceive manure to spawn in, so I'm thinking you have to come in here and scoop it out yourself. Come around here too. So here's the custom grass texture. Come around here to this side of this house. We have our pickup truck. And then we have our chicken area. Our chicken chicken trigger. Have the food trough. And not 100% sure where the eggs are going to spawn in. Might spawn in here also. Don't see anything else marked out for where they would spawn. And that pretty much, guys, is the main starting farm. Here's a nice little detail. Got some telecom folks here working. Warning light. Line, and then a little detail like that. So we're going to go ahead and get set up for a fly around. Oh wait, let's go over here. This is another cow area that we own that is part of the main farmland. Run up the road here a little bit. And this particular area is only going to support 150 cows. Okay, inside here we have the water trough. And we have our food trough. Now let's take note. So, brown and white cows, which is the one we just bought, you take all of your standard food requirements here, including wheat and barley. Interesting. They reproduce, but they do not make milk, manure, or slurry. Brown cows is over in the other area. They take all the standard foods, including wheat and barley. They reproduce. Then they do produce manure, slurry, and milk. Guys out here in the open pasture, they don't produce anything other than more cows. In the base game, in seasons, this would be a great spot to put beef cattle that don't produce milk because, well, there's no facilities for them to produce milk. So now we're going to get set up for that fly around, and we'll take a closer look from above at the whole map. As we get a little altitude, we can see the distant scenery off to the outside of the map. See the overall lay of the land. Overall, the map kind of falls north to south in a downward angle. So let's just go ahead and, I guess, where's the shop? Let's shoot this way. We'll kind of loop up around the north. We'll shoot down the eastern side of the map over to the shop. And our main farm is right here. We've got field 3, 7, 2, 1, and then 8 over there, the big meadow. Heading over here to the abandoned farm barn Sellpoint. Oh my, this guy had a heck of a time with that vehicle. Head on further down here to the animal dealer and the spinnery. For animal dealer and the spinnery Sellpoint. I will say that I've checked some of these towers. Some of these towers do not have collisions, and supposedly others do, according to the map author. I've only flown through a few of these. Found that it didn't have collisions. So he said he basically did that upon request. If you like the distance scenery, of course, you know, we're way up above where a normal player would be looking at this point. When you think that maybe the max height you're going to be is maybe something like this. Looking at your equipment, really nice sight lines of the distance scenery. As you scroll across, you get a really good sense of depth with foreground trees moving further than the foreground trees, moving further and quicker than the distant scenery. This area, we have the farm silo and a storage barn. Kind of have a combo here. Farm silo for storing our grain. We're a dump point and our fill point there. Then we also have over here storage yard barn, which will be one of our sell points for pellets, hay, straw, grass, and silage. Head over here to area 21, which is another cow pasture area. Flat cows for this area. This area will support 150 cattle again. And we have the water trough, food ring, and if we take a look at this area, again, we have our standard food crops and wheat and barley. If you feed total mixed rations, that's 100%, so you don't need to feed any of the other stuff. But again, all these do are reproduce. They don't produce milk or slurry or manure because they're out here in the open grass. Coming up here to a sheep farm. And this sheep farm has 2 sheep pastures. Here's our first sheep pasture. It holds 500 sheep. Water trough. I'm guessing this is where our wool is spawning. Maintenance trigger in here, big storage shed to store our equipment. Check. Have a sleep trigger here. Do not. It might show up if we buy the farm. We have another sleep trigger, or not sleep trigger, but animal over here. We have our food trough and our water trough for this animal area. Food and water trough for this sheep area. Like I said, I think if we have one common wool spawn point for both sheep areas. And let's just get the number of animals off of this area. Probably going to be 150. Oh, 500 for this one. Okay. Check these. Sheep. Pretty standard food requirements. Got wheat and barley added here again. Wheat and barley. Wool. All looks normal. So there we have our start farm. Directly over there. That's the one cow pasture. Head on down this way. And then I'll show you where we've got a horse farm right here. A horse farm will take 8 horses. We have the food trough and the water trough in here. I'm guessing the straw trigger. Let's just check and see if these guys take straw. May have been reconfigured. Water straw. Yep. Okay. So I'm just guessing the straw trigger is going to be... Well, let's just take... Yeah. It looks like the straw trigger is going to be right here at the door. Gate. There's a double trigger there. Oh, that's probably for the animal area. Sorry. Probably the animal point and the door trigger. Not really sure where the straw needs to go in here. I wouldn't think it's over here by the door. I think that's going to be for a custom transport mission. Maintenance trigger. And we'll head on down this way to the biogas plant. And the Loudon Lodge right there. The Loudon Lodge is going to be our buy point for. Going to be taking our eggs. We have another farm. And this particular farm is going to be for sheep again. Go ahead and check out the sheep area. Here we have the food trough for our sheep. $500 sheep for this area. We have our water trough inside then. And I believe this is where our wool is going to spawn for our sheep. Nice combination of old and new buildings. I think our maintenance trigger might be inside here. Indeed, there it is. Old blue paint. Is this New Holland blue? We've been painting our tractors again. And some of these farms are really nice details. Birch Head Farm. Go here. This is obviously going to be the Birch Head sheep area. Just down the hill here we have our biogas plant. In-ground digester here. We have 2 silage bunkers. Silage bunker 1. Silage bunker 2. Looks like we need to do a little bit of flattening the ground there. Wall has a little bit of a gap visually. And check it out. What do we got going on down here? This is like a farm equipment showcase. Now, if you load this map up with seasons, this is important to note. If you load this map up with seasons, this is not visually here in spring. From what I understand, this only shows up in summer. Okay? the Loudon Show. Pretty cool how this is all set up. So if you have seasons, this will appear empty in spring, probably in winter, possibly even in autumn. But in summer, you'll have the Loudon show up. Okay, so something that is important to note for seasons is when this visually is empty, at least for the moment, these collisions are still here. Okay, so this is not a free area for you to be mowing grass, because you're going to run into random collisions for things that don't exist until summertime. Now, from what I understand, the map author has fixed the collisions where when the things aren't visually there, the collisions are also not visually there. So that'll be good in a future update. But yeah, that's kind of cool how that's set up with the Seasons Admirer capability. And here we've got more sell points. We're going to check out those in a little bit more detail later. Got a new community on board here. Look. Not too bad. Coming into town. Banners about the Loudon show. Just down the street. Co-op, sell point. Pretty cool. Grain dump in the back. Got our wood chips and our log sell point here. Like the wood chips need to be flattened to the ground a little bit. Not too terrible bad. Then we have our vehicle shop, which we're going to circle back to. Just up the hill here we have our pig farm. And we've got custom signs, the Blackthorn Farm for quality pork. Got our shop trigger. Miscellaneous parts. Not a lot of storage, but just enough. All you really need. Farm hands living out of the caravan there. As they call it in the U of K. 500 pigs for this animal area. Of course, then we have our food trough, animal trough, and oh my gosh, can you imagine 500 pigs in here? Food trough, water trough, slurry, and manure. Head on back down here to the shop. Fitting, it's a New Holland shop. They had New Holland blue paint over at that sheep farm. Really great details in here so we can walk into the shop. Shop trigger here at the service desk. And it dumps this out. Got a nice showcase of used equipment. Not used equipment, but just smalls that we can buy on display here. And let's see if we can find the customize, repair, and sell point. Possibly around back. Here's where we customize, repair, and sell. Now, this is a pretty small door, so let's see. Does this trigger extend outside? No, it does not. So whatever you want to sell, customize, or fix here at the shop, better be able to get it in through this door. Got our spawn point for our vehicles. So we've looked at a lot of stuff, but what I do like to do is just go ahead and drive over some of these sell points just to make sure the trigger collisions are there and everything. We have to see, do we have working anyway? No. So over here we have wood supplies. This is where we're going to have our log, Sellpoint, wood chip, Sellpoint. We have the co-op. Over here, I like that we can go inside. We don't just have a building, we have an interior. Go inside, we can peruse the shelves. Cash register. Where'd it go? There we are. Going on in here. Kind of a tight area, so we're not going to be coming in here with super big stuff. There we've got our dump point. Like the branded semi-trailer there. Really nice details. Head on down the street to our fuel point. And when I come back, I'm going to be flooring it. I want to see if this has the speed trigger. Speed camera in it. Here we have our Shell fuel station. Really, really, I like this. I like this overall setup. Looks like a real, could be a real fuel station. Really like it. We've got this here for the underground tanks, like propane, the generator, or for propane sales. I don't know, maybe it's above ground tank storage. Alright, get up some speed and see if we can't trigger a speed camera if they have them. They're here soon enough. Alright, so that's just decorative. That's okay. I don't like getting fined constantly by speeding through. Get kind of a first-person perspective coming here through town. Really nice. Now we've got the new housing district. Just past town a little bit. 135,000 pounds to buy a new house. Come on down here to Ayrshire Dairy. We have grain dump, a milk trigger over here. And if we take a look, Ayrshire Dairy and Ayrshire's Finest Grain. Ayrshire's Finest Grain is one of our big sell points. Of course, the dairy is going to be for our MILK. Co-op is also set up to take our milk. Continue on. Basically, that is the map border where that blue car is coming from. Got the Ayrshire show, or the Loudon show. Cars parked inside, cars parked outside, tractors. Really nice detail. Up the hill to the biogas plant. Kind of already looked at this, so we'll just swing through. Dump point. Your bunkers. Run up the hill to the next sell point for our eggs. So, Woodhead Cottage. Woodhead Cottage is going to take our eggs. There we have Birchhead Farm. It's the double. No, that is the single sheep farm. Our Loudon Lodge is coming up here. Little narrow bridge. That idyllic view from there. Narrow bridge, so coming through here with big equipment. Here we have the lavender sell point for our eggs. We already saw that kind of on the fly through. Now, we believe that these hedges are collision free. So if for any reason you do need to come through here with something that's bigger than what you can get through the gate, technically you could go through the hedges. Here we are at a starting farm. Really nice details overall. Again, look at that distance scenery. Really like it. Really like the views. Views that we're getting on the map here. Off in the distance, we can see the cows in that other area. So if you had this on a multiplayer server, you've got plenty of farms for folks to buy and run their own operation. You've got these kind of open grass pastures as removed from the farm. So somebody could own that, and you'd just be seeing, cows roaming in the pasture as you're out working the fields. Something I'd like to see in more maps would be stuff like that. Bring more activity and more life to the whole place. Again, this is Farm Silo. Fill trigger and our dump here. definitely not looping around that way. We're going to have to loop around the other direction. Storage. And that is the bale sell point for hay, straw, grass, and silage. It's also up here. So there's also a barn farm sell point at the Alton Burn farm. That is the double sheep farm. So whoever owns the sheep farm, man, you're be careful. You don't put bales. You don't go to store bales in the bale sell point. That would be a shocker now, wouldn't it? Head on down. Let's see. Do these have collisions? Oh, they do. Head on down here to the abandoned farm barn. Again, this is going to be a bale sell point for hay, straw, grass, and silage. This is the place where they got the wrecked car. More junk in here. Pretty tight getting around the corner here. Get to the bale sell point right there. Oh, leave this way. Nice. So this could be another way to get in here without having to really navigate the tight corners of the house yard. Oh my gosh, she was throwing out a perfectly good stuff. Got a perfectly fine grill. Lost it here on the side of the road. Someone's confusing this map for Ravenport. We're going to make our way down here to the animal dealer and spinnery, and that's where we're going to conclude our tour of the map. I encourage you to go ahead and download this thing and give it your own tour. Always be sure to go into the mod hub in-game and rate mods you download. Give it a fair rating. I'm not going to call it out and say give it a 5, give it a 4. Give it a rating you feel it deserves. That's all the map author could ever ask. Right? Give it a fair shake. Oh, something that I have noticed on this map is some things are marked, some things are not. Does leave you kind of wondering where some things are and where some things are not. So, like the animal buy trigger, I don't know where it is. I have to try to find it. Could pull up F5 just to show me real fast. But you know, we've got, there it is. Go. Kind of hidden in the straw. That's where we want to buy our animals. We're going to have to back up into here with our trailer. We want to pick them up that way. But I was noticing the drop-off points at the farms are not marked. Some zones are marked, some zones aren't. There we have the spinnery for our wool and cotton. There you go, guys. That is West Newton Farm. You can find this map over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub. And this map is currently available for PC only. But I do know that this map author is expecting release for console at some point. Until next time, happy farming. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.